Good morning, everybody. This is Toucan Dragon, and welcome back to Digimon Rearise. First off, I just want to apologize for my absence. As some of you may know, through my constant complaining, work recently has been taking a lot out of me, so I've had little time to work on any videos. And the time that I did have, I spent on working on a project that was supposed to release a few weeks ago, but it's extremely behind. So with that said, let's get into it. So since this banner is featuring a lot of Digimon, I'm going to split this before you pull video into 4 parts. Part 1 being the one you're watching right now, featuring devoted Lilithmon. Part 2 featuring devoted Mastermon. 3 will be King Edelmon, and 4 will be Brave Gaomon. I also know that there are other Digimon that are featured in this banner, but since they are re-releases, I'm not going to cover them as much in this series. Mostly because I already covered them before. So by the time this video releases, I'll make a new playlist with all my Before You Pull videos, so you guys can go cruise around there to find all the info that you're looking for. So this banner is a great banner if you're a new player or haven't gone for quite a while. If you pulled for Digimon Paladin mode and you happen to get him without going broke, and you happen to have some extra rubies lying around, then this banner has a lot of good Digimon, with about half of them being good re-releases like Omegamon and Ulforce. But if you're an older player who has been here for quite a while, then this banner can be kind of a turnoff, since about half the Digimon, like I said, are re-releases. But the other half, and more specifically, 3 of these Digimon are pretty good. One being what I believe to be the best healer in the game so far, devoted Lilithmon. So let's dive in and see how good she is compared to other good healers that we have. So we'll be comparing Lilithmon with Razielmon and Manajamon. Razielmon because, well, she's out right now and she's a pretty decent healer, and Manajamon since she was the best healer before Lilithmon. So looking at the stats, Lilithmon has 6289, while Razielmon has 6443, beating her by about 200 points. And then we have Manajamon at 6133, being the lowest. Next, if you look at the defense, Lilithmon being at 1113, Razielmon being at 1309, and Manajamon being at 1584. Manajamon can take more hits than these two Digimon, due to that high defense. Razielmon come in second place with that average defense but pretty good HP, but Lilithmon kinda coming in last with that low defense and low HP compared to these two Digimon. And I believe that's where her problem lies, just not being able to take as many hits as Manajamon and Razielmon. Yes, Manajamon has lower HP than Lilithmon, but she has way higher defense than Lilithmon, and on top of that, she has her own plugins out currently. Next, looking at their tech, Razielmon beats the two with 2731, Lilithmon coming in second place at 2224, and Manajamon being lower at 1936. Being devoted Digimon, and more specifically in the healer category, we don't need these Digimon to deal that much damage. It's nice when they could deal some damage, but it's not necessary. So looking at their tech isn't that important, especially with Manajamon, since she has the lowest tech. She has the best utility, well, before Lilithmon, due to her sub-skill, but we'll get into that in a few minutes. And lastly, looking at the speed is about average for all devoted Digimon, which is 12 across the board. The next Digimon I'm going to compare Lilithmon to is devoted Cherubimon, well, good Cherubimon. Now Lilithmon is actually kind of a love child between good Cherubimon and Pleasiomon, because of both their abilities are in Lilithmon's kit. That's kind of cool. But for right now, let's look at their stats. So looking at both their stats side by side, Cherubimon gets kind of wrecked by Lilithmon in general. However, Cherubimon does have slightly better tech at 2416, but then again, these are more healer type Digimon and not Digimon you'll use to do damage, so it's not necessary to have high tech for this subcategory of devoted Digimon. Other than that, Digimon's HP is at 5474, lower than Lilithmon's 6289. Defense is at 1008, which is extremely low compared to Lilithmon's 1113. And then we have again speed being at 12 across the board. Next, looking at their skills, now we'll see how good of a healer Lilithmon is. So Lilithmon's main skill, she deals 340% damage to 2 enemies, which isn't anything too special. It's decent damage to 2 enemies. And she has a 40% chance to poison those enemies for 2 turns. Again, not too special. It's a high percent chance compared to other Digimon. But this is where she makes her mark. She gives all allies a 1000 HP recovery per action that they perform for a turn. This is where I say she's a love child of Trubimon and Pleasiomon. Trubimon has this ability. However, Lilithmon's ability is generalized. You'll see her whole kit is generalized, not specific like these other Digimon we have here. Well, mine is Managramon, but still. If we look at Rasiomon's main skill, same amount of damage to 2 enemies, lowers her defense by 30%, and gives herself an auto revive to recover 70% HP. Looking at Mandramon's dealing 280% damage to 3 enemies, while buffing allies' tech damage resistant and block rate. Next, going down to Lilithmon's sub-skill, we're going to see that Pleasiomon in here now. Lilithmon has another healing effect in her kit. She deals first 130% damage to all enemies, which isn't anything special, but recovers all allies' HP by 50%. And Rasiomon basically has the same sub-skill, except she deals 210% damage to 3 enemies, and Mandramon kinda has the same sub-skill. However, she has her own little gimmick going on where she revives an ally with 50% HP, while also healing allies by 25%. So, because of that, before Lilithmon, Mandramon was the best healer in the game. But now that Lilithmon's here, and has 2 healing abilities in her kit, that makes her the best healer so far, at least in my opinion. She can basically heal all your allies with 50%, which is a big boost. And not only that, can give them a buff where they heal themselves by 1000 points every time they do an action. And that's any action. It could be a skill or just a counter or their basic attack. They get 1000 HP back. So it's pretty cool. However, the only downside she has here is that cooldown for both of her abilities. It's pretty high. Her main skill cooldown's at 125 seconds, and the sub skill is at 130. Now, you could get her at skill level 10, which I might. I'm still kind of debating on it, but I might do that. But it won't be that much of a cooldown decrease, you know? So, it's hard. At least on paper right now, looking at her, she has a really cool kit. And I'm not even on her passive yet. Looking at her passive, she protects all allies from all status effects. Shock, paralysis, freeze, stun, and sleep for a turn. This is good. Especially right now, since we have a lot of attack-oriented Digimon with Impulgimon, Omegamon, Dynasmon. A lot of teams are forgetting to run Digimon to protect their heavy hitters from status effects and dot damage. Like right now, I'm running Tiger Vespamon in my team with Impulgimon. And with Tiger Vespamon, I'm able to paralyze my enemy more frequently because people are forgetting to run protection against these status effects. So having her in the team, especially right now in Devoted Week, it's really good because she'll get, for one thing, she'll get a stat boost. And she'll protect your team from Tiger Vespamon, which is out right now because people are pulling for Impulgimon and are getting him instead. And to be honest, Tiger Vespamon is actually pretty good. Not just because of its main and sub-skill being able to paralyze the enemy and hitting 4 targets, mind you, but its passive being able to decrease enemies' power and tech. So Lilithmon is kind of a good counter for that, just to protect your team from those pesky status ailments. And on top of that, she provides herself 1 evade for 5 turns. It's nothing too special, it's something to help her low defense, but other than that, it's difficult to say. I like her a lot. Her kit is amazing. She's a really good healer. The problem I see with her is keeping her alive. Yes, she can heal herself. Yes, she has an evade. But I feel like without a Grand Kuwagumon or a Digimon that can buff defense, she'll go down pretty fast, especially since her plugins aren't out yet. And yes, you could give her some ancient plugins to buff her HP and defense, which I recommend, but it won't be the same if it's not her own specific plugins. So keep that in mind. So let's quickly look at Rasyomon's passive. Again, Rasyomon has a pretty decent passive to give immunity of poison, error, and burn, so all dot damage. However, again, this is the problem, it's specific. She only does it for calm and devoted allies, so you have to run a calm devoted team, versus Lilithmon's passive protects everybody. Doesn't matter what personality you are, she's got your back. And now Managermon's a little bit greedy with that immunity to skill lock for a turn for herself, but she does reduce all enemies' tech by 30%, which is pretty useful right now since we're getting the rise of Calm Digimon. Oh, and I forgot to mention Rasyomon's second part of her passive, decrease all enemies' tech damage resistant by 30%, which is very useful when you're running a tech-oriented team like what you want to kind of defend against with Managermon. So Rasyomon is good to pair with Imperial Paladin mode to deal at least slightly more damage. Next, let's look at Trubimon. So Trubimon again is one of the love parents of Lilithmon. Trubimon's main skill deals 170% damage to 5 enemies and gives all brave and calm allies a 30% defense buff, which is good, but again, it's specific. And then the healing effect gives all calm and brave allies 1000 HP per action. The same as Lilithmon, the only downside, it's specific. But again, Trubimon is actually pretty good with brave and calm teams, so if you're running a brave and calm with Omega, Impojimon, Blackwell Greymon, or Dynasmon, you have Trubimon there as your support and healer to keep them alive. Especially Dynasmon. Trubimon is actually really good with Dynasmon, since she provides a lot of buffs for Calm Digimon, as well as Brave. Going to her sub-skill, she deals 130% damage to 5 enemies, but also gives all Brave allies a 30% power buff, and Calm allies a 30% tech buff. So that's, again, it's nice support coming from this Digimon. And going to her passive, she grants Shock, Paralysis, Stun, Freeze, Sleep to all Brave and Calm allies. So it's the same as Lilithmon's passive, except, again, it's specific. But because it's specific, that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just, with Lilithmon, she's able to go into more teams than devoted Trubimon. And lastly, the last part of this Digimon's passive is give all Brave and Calm allies a plus 30% block rate. And this is permanent. So with that said, guys, just by looking at this Digimon alone, to be honest, I think this banner is kind of worth it. And again, that's just looking at devoted Lilithmon. We still haven't gotten over Mastermon, King Edamon. Well, to be honest, I don't think King Edamon's that good, but Brave Galmon, he looks pretty good. So I might do a few pulls in this banner before it goes away. I mean, like, it's here for a good while. It started technically June 7th, where I'm at, but it's gonna go on to September 8th or September 7th, technically. But yeah, I mean, like, I like this banner. I like Lilithmon. Now, granted, again, Lilithmon on paper, which technically we just looked at, she looks good. Her one downside is her defensive stats. They're pretty low. But if you have the right plugins and the right team comp with her, you might be able to keep her alive long enough to, use her abilities. And what's good about her abilities is that she could technically keep herself alive by giving herself that 1000 HP per action and healing herself with 50% HP. So as she heals everybody else, she's healing herself. So that does help, but it doesn't protect her from the abilities of Impulgimon or Omegamon, which more than likely, if they hit Lilithmon, she's gone. It'll be a one-shot, just because of how low her defensive capabilities are. But with the right plugins and the right team comp, like I said, maybe with Grand Kuwagamon, who else? Hyandramon to buff that defense, or maybe other Digimon to lower enemies' powered amount of their power output, then maybe she has a chance. Or you know what? No, that won't work. So I'm gonna say Blackrock Greymon, but Blackrock Greymon only protects Calm and Brave, so it'll leave Lilithmon out of that equation. So yeah, for me that's my only problem with her. Other than that, she looks like an amazing healer, and even if you don't use her for Battle Park, for Underworld, she'll be amazing. But that's just my opinion. Now I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of this banner? Do you like the new Digimon in this banner? And are you going to do a few polls? I might. Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please click on that like button. And if you haven't already, you should subscribe, since I'm going to be covering more variety content here pretty soon. I hope. I really hope. Time is a weird thing, isn't it? And don't forget to ring that little bell icon to be notified when I post more videos. This has been Toucan Dragon, and if I can, you can too. Bye guys.